This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's real estate authority, Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb Schlinker is also a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air your real estate voice every Saturday, 11 o'clock, right after Larry Kudlow. And if you can't listen to the entire show, it is always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or you can just search Barb on most of the popular podcast platforms like iHeartRadio. Barb, what are we going to be talking about this weekend?
Well, Richard, as always, I'm excited about today's show just because a lot of what we're going to talk about is kind of on the mind of people that are thinking of buying or selling a home. So we'll go into some interesting topics and I'll try to fill in some color with some of my crazy stories to make it less boring. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is, why is my Zillow Zestimate going down? We get those questions a lot. And it's going to be fun to talk about that because Zillow is not a real opinion of value in my view. It's just an average of the homes that are selling around you. Every home is different. Every buyer and seller is different. So we'll go into that. And then this is a question that I answer an awful lot when I'm meeting with clients or sometimes before I meet with clients. What to do and what not to do to get my house ready for sale. Should I do this? Should I do that? Is it worth it? Will it pay for itself? So we'll talk about that. And then this one is a constant battle for me, how to avoid contract failures from a home inspection when selling your home. So this is the most common reason that deals fall apart if it's gone under contract. So we'll talk about some of the landmines that you have to plan for and be prepared for when you're selling your home, because right now the buyers are super picky. You would not believe how picky they are. It's gotten worse than HGTV. And then the last thing I love talking about is, of course, negotiations. So it's sad to me, but it's true. A majority of agents are not trained on how to negotiate. So most of them are like, well, if we don't get what we want, we're walking. That's their strategy. Or I'm going to sue. And that's just not negotiating. So we're going to talk about why they're not trained and some techniques that you can use to be successful when you're in the midst of negotiations. Richard?
Now, Barb, no one seems to know for sure where the interest rates are going to be going. Some people are seeing their home values drop on sites like Zillow and Zestimate. So why is this happening, Barb?
Well, real estate is very local, and then it's also hyper local when it comes to just the house by itself. So you could have a home that just sold for this amount that's similar to yours, but yours may not be selling for that price right now. That's what we're running up against currently with the market. And there's a lot of reasons for it. One of them is interest rates, of course. Interest rates are back above 7.0%, and they've been kind of staying kind of close to where they are. So that's the bad news. That's for conventional. If you're getting a government loan, you might get lucky and maybe get close to about 6.5%. But those loans typically are anywhere from 90 to 100% financing. So buyers purchase homes on payments, right? And buyers are trying to get the best deal for their money. And Zillow is just information basically for home sellers to, it's probably a way that they get people to raise their hands and talk to them or talk to the agents that they sell leads to in order to basically get some activity going on their website. That's how they became very quickly a multi-billion-dollar company, is they had the best online mousetrap. So that is where the buyers are looking. And a lot of people, buyers and sellers, believe that Zillow is the gold standard for the home value. And it's just not true. In fact, back in 2021, during the boom, Zillow was buying homes. I remember going on listing appointments where the seller had already presented their home to sell it to Zillow. And they would say, well, Zillow offered me this much with whatever percent fee. And I looked at them because I knew what the market was doing. And I said, you should take that because I knew that they were paying more than market value. And they did. They paid more than market value for probably 6 months to a year. They ended up losing $1 billion. I can't imagine how they stay in business when they're doing that, but they did. And they quit buying homes because it wasn't a profit center for them. And their goal was to flip it. They would buy it, they'd turn around, put it back on the market, maybe do a little fix up and try to resell it for a profit. And this is when the prices were climbing and buyers are doing multiple offers on homes and all that. But the problem is that there is a limit to what that number is. And they exceeded that limit trying to get these homes, and it backfired. There were a couple of one of what they call iBuyers or tech companies that did that. So you can't really rely on them as far as what your home is worth. There's a lot of factors that go into what your home is actually worth. And let me just show you the stats right now going on in the Pikes Peak region, although this is probably pretty consistent in all the counties around here. The total number of homes that are under contract for June are pretty much the same as the number of homes that we had under contract a year ago. However, what has changed is the number of available homes has gone up between 31 and 33%. So buyers have more homes to choose from, yet because the rates are high, there's a smaller buyer pool that actually can afford these homes. So you have to be the most attractive home on the market to make the buyers fall all over themselves to get your house. That is the best case scenario. And unfortunately, right now, it's very difficult to go by similar sales even. Normally, that is the gold standard. That is what appraisers go by to substantiate the value. But the market is not reacting to that at this moment. And I think the reason is the number of available homes on the market right now. It's a big surge right at the moment. And some of these tech sites like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, they all put an opinion of what your home is worth on there. I think Realtor has 3 different opinions. They could go up and down, but it doesn't mean that's what your house is worth. It's what a buyer is willing to pay. And then, a lot of people are buying homes. I would say a majority of them in the US are getting some kind of mortgage, right? So the home has to be affordable, but it also has to be the best available home for them on the market at that time. And so how do you know it's the best available home? You can tell by the immediate market reaction. So when we put a house on the market, we know probably within a day or two if it's priced right, because boom, the phone starts ringing. Ring, ring, ring. How come I can't get in? We kind of hold them back for a while, and we introduce the home to the market a few days after it's been out there on the interweb in order to create demand. And we can tell by the phone calls that, yeah, this is going to be a good one. We are seeing right now that homes that had similar sales are not matching what's going on in the market right now. So that means you have to price your home absolutely very, very realistically, like on the low side of realistically versus optimistically, just to get a buyer to come up and take a look at it. And, this is inflation. Even though the home values have gone up since probably 2016, on average about 38 to 40%, okay? With the rates going up like they did at the end of 2022, it took out a lot of the buyer population because they just can't afford the payment. And unfortunately, the prices have not dropped, but I think it could be coming just based on what I'm seeing. Some homes are flying off the shelf because they priced it very aggressively. And in that case, all the good buyers, pile in and make their best offer, and we end up getting full market value. But some homes, if they're really pushing the price envelope, if there's any little thing wrong with them, the buyers turn their nose and just go find some other property. And what we're also seeing in terms of the average price, which is the blue line I'm showing right now, or the median or middle price, is kind of a flattening of the prices. Now, some of this price increase that we're seeing is seasonal. So we will typically see the prices start marching up in the springtime. But what we're seeing right now is a flattening of the prices, which is an indication that there's more competition. You can't look at homes that sold in the spring because a buyer may not pay for that right now. And I do think the political environment absolutely has an impact on that. I don't know, you can tell me, Richard, but there certainly is a lot of uncertainty going on with regard to the presidential race and politics, talking about unseating the sitting president. So for some people, because they don't have optimism, they may not actually make a large investment like a home. I have this saying called a confused mind does nothing. So, but if you are thinking of making a move and you need to make a move, give us a call because we help people in any kind of market. And what we do is we sit down, we go over with you what the market's doing right now, give you a really good idea what your home will sell for. We'll show you all of the similar sales and also show you your competition so you can make a good decision about getting top price when you sell your home. We even have up to 700 high match buyers for your home, as well as we have a bunch of cash buyers. So give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, host of the program and the proprietor of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. You can reach Barb and her team at 719-301-3900. And we're talking about the impact of rising interest rates on the housing market right now. So, Barb, should buyers wait until prices start to come down?
I'd say no, because it's not happening yet. We're just not seeing the prices come down. They're higher now than they were a year ago. So I think what I'm seeing a lot of buyers do right now that are actually making offers is they're saving a lot of money. They're coming in with huge down payments. Even first-time home buyers are coming in with 90, 100,000 down just to make that payment more affordable, which is wonderful. I think if you are sitting on the sidelines, that is the strategy. Make sure your credit is stellar, save as much as you can, and when the right house hits, be ready. You can buy a home with as little as 3% down. There's even 100% financing where the county gifts you your down payment and you kind of work with the seller to try and get your closing costs paid. All of those are still out there, but it's all about affordability. That is the problem. And your marketing when you sell a home, it has to be top notch because we know that buyers will eliminate homes based on the pictures first, and then the house has to impress them as well. So you want to make sure you get what I call all 3 P's or 4 P's right when you sell your home: preparation, pricing, presentation, and absolutely picking the right agent. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900. We have over 27,940 buyers in waiting just on our little tiny website. Typically, we can find hundreds of buyers that would be a match for your home. So call us or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the host of the program, and she is with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, call Barb, 719-301-3900, or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for a sale. Stay tuned for that.